How would you like to go to the airport and not have to worry about bringing an ID anymore? Well, it may not be that far in the future. I've got a welcome offer today that we're going to talk about that's a pretty big one that's coming to an end very soon. Hyatt has a status match offer with American Airlines as well, and I've got a story today related around kids breaking something in the house and the parents making them go to work to pay for it, and a lot of details in between. Is that a good idea? Is it a bad idea? The parents are asking. We've got that and a lot more, including the top airlines as rated by the new Wallet Hub study as well. Lots of stuff going on this week. This is going to be a big episode. I'm Brandon Boyd with The Brandon Boyd Show. Thank you so much for watching. These come out every Sunday evening. My goal is pretty simple. It's to catch up on all the news related to credit cards, points and miles, travel, money, finance, and everything in between. The topics are on the screen. There's a timer down below. There's timestamps down in the description below. If you do find this video helpful or mildly entertaining, don't forget to be awesome. Give me a big thumbs up on the video and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notifications for alerts, and keep in mind, if you're interested in any of the cards mentioned in today's video, please let me know down in the comments. I'll send you a link. It'll help the channel out by supporting it by going through that link, and I really appreciate all of you doing that so far. Well, we've got a lot to talk about today, including a free food deal through the rest of August as well. This is a pretty good one. Can't wait to talk about it. With that said, we've got stuff to talk about. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go. First things first, the Chase Sapphire Reserve has a pretty significant welcome offer right now, and it's coming to an end very soon, at least according to their website. So the Chase Sapphire Reserve offer right now is after spending $5,000 in 3 months, you'll get 100,000 Chase Ultimate Rewards, a $500 credit towards Chase travel. It does have a $795 annual fee, which I'll be honest, makes me want to throw up a little bit. These annual fees, I know I keep harping on it, I sound like a broken record, but they're getting out of control. Does this card have a lot of good credits to help offset that? Yes, it does. You get a $500 credit for stays with the Edit. You get a $300 annual travel credit. You get Apple TV and Apple Music subscription, a $120 Dash Pass membership, $300 DoorDash promos, $300 in StubHub credits, Lyft credits, Peloton credits, yada, yada, yada. All of that to say, it's a lot to keep up with. This is just like the American Express Platinum card, all right? There's a ton of credits that help offset the annual fee, but man, it's a lot of stuff to keep up with, especially when you have a lot of cards like some people I know, me, right? But, you know, if you can manage it, have at it. I think this is a great offer. Typically, the welcome offer with this card isn't that great, to be honest with you, for the annual fee that they charge. So if you were ever going to do it, now is the time to do it. 100,000 Chase Ultimate Rewards definitely goes a long way. Consider it. If you're a travel enthusiast, this might be a good card for you. Let me know if you have the Chase Sapphire Reserve card right now, especially since the new annual fee's gone into effect, and let me know how that impacted your decision. Are you getting the value out of it? Let me know. Hyatt currently has a status match offer with American Airlines, and it's pretty darn good. Let's take a look. Hyatt is currently offering a 90-day status match for American Airline Elites and a challenge to keep that status until February 28th, 2027. So for Advantage Elite, stay 10 nights at Hyatt hotels within 90 days of registration and keep Explorer status. And for Advantage Platinum Pro and higher, stay 20 nights at Hyatt hotels within 90 days of registration and keep Globalist status. Now on the flip side of that, this also works for Hyatt Elites to get status with American Airlines. I wouldn't recommend registering for this one until you're ready to get these nights and this travel booked, because that 90-day window that you have, you want to make sure that you're taking full advantage of it. So this is nice. I love status match offers. Hyatt and American Airlines, I'm fans of both of those. So if you're in both of those programs and are enrolled right now, make sure you take advantage before this one goes away. You know, when you travel to the airport, there's a lot of things that you have to consider. You have to talk about luggage. How much does your luggage weigh? Are your kids going to drive you nuts in the airport? How are you going to get through the security line? Well, there's one feature that's being tested out in 14 different airports across the US that will make it to where you don't even have to carry a passport or an ID in order to get on the plane. Right now, TSA has rolled out the pilot program for their facial recognition software this summer in 14 different airports across the country. It's important to note that in order to fly without your ID, you do need to be registered for TSA PreCheck, at least according to what they're saying right now. So that's something to keep in mind and could change later on. So you need to make sure that you're enrolled with the airline that you're going to be flying with, and they will have a picture. They'll use that stored image to match with your image at the airport to see if it matches. So there's no need to have to take out a driver's license or a passport. Now right now there's facial recognition software, we've probably all seen it at this point, but you still need to hand over some form of identification. In this case, you won't even have to worry about that. If you drove off and you forgot your driver's license or passport at home and you still want to fly, this should make it a little bit easier. The less friction there is from getting me on the plane, I like it, as long as it's safe. That's the key part. Can this system be manipulated or hacked? We don't really know yet, but that's why they're testing it out at this point. So let me know if you're in favor of this. Are you willing to take what you may consider an extra security risk by not verifying somebody's physical ID at the location? Are you willing to accept that risk in order to get through the lines quicker and in theory get to where you're going a little bit faster? I think it's worth it in this case. There's a lot more digitization of profiles, pictures, and everything else in our world. This should hopefully make it a little bit easier, but let me know what you think. Now, Wallet Hub is a very reputable site. I read it quite often, and they have ranked 9 of the top US airlines and a couple of regional carriers as well to look at who ranks first and last based on a lot of different metrics: value, on-time percentage, and customer service. And which airline has the most Spirit, and how big is the delta between the top and the bottom? I'm sorry, I had to throw that in there, but long story short, let's take a look at their study and see who came out on top as the #1 airline in the US. Trust me, you are gonna be surprised. So again, they're looking at a range of issues from cancellations, delay rates, baggage mishaps, and in-flight comfort. And coming in as the top airline of 2025 is Spirit Airlines, the best overall airline. So this is great. I'll be honest with you, when I saw this, I was like, this is completely ridiculous, right? Spirit Airlines, how are they doing this? But they have ranked #1 according to this Wallet Hub study. I'm assuming as long as you can get through security and get through the fist fights in security, that they're just looking at the flight experience, and maybe that's a little bit better. I'm kidding, but I've seen a lot of YouTube videos of fights with Spirit Airlines security lines and stuff like that. It's pretty funny. But long story short, they are the #1 airline based on all these metrics. Now, there are other categories as well. The most affordable airline, Spirit Airlines again wins that. The most reliable airline is Delta Airlines. The most comfortable, JetBlue. The best airline for pets is SkyWest Airlines and United Airlines. And then the safest airline being Spirit Airlines as well. So Spirit Airlines, according to Wallet Hub in this study, comes out #1 in 3 different categories. Now, let me be honest. I'm gonna be 100% honest here. I have never flown on Spirit Airlines, so I need your feedback here. Are these ratings accurate? If you've flown on Spirit Airlines, do you agree with this analysis? This one definitely took me by surprise, there's no doubt about it, but maybe I'm wrong. Let me know your thoughts. Who's the best airline? Who's the safest? Who's the best value? You let me know down in the comments. Is it Spirit Airlines? Well, at least according to this study, they are #1. Now, every week on the Weekly Pointers News Update, I like to share stories that relates to credit cards, points and miles, travel, money, finance, and how those combine with personal relationships. And today I've got a story from a father that's posting online. He wants to know if he's in the wrong for making his 2 kids get a job for something that they messed up at home. I'm going to dig into the details, and I'm going to read this from the perspective of the father. I'm going to read his post straight from the internet, and we're going to decide who's right and who's wrong. My kids, both 16 years old, somehow, someway, broke our main TV. They wouldn't say how they did it, but I'm assuming they were playing. They only said they were sorry and got quiet after that. The apology was not good, to be honest. When I say they only said sorry, they legit said, "We're sorry." That's it. I was upset, but then I had what I thought was the perfect idea. Walmart was looking for employees. I told them to apply online, and they both needed to get a job. They hated it. Their schedule was like 5 to 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. on school days. I told them after they pay for the TV they broke, they have to keep the job for at least 6 months. After the TV is paid for, the money is all theirs. I told them that since they have jobs, I'm only paying for food, water, and school clothes. Anything else like soap and toothpaste, they could pay for it. My wife thinks that I'm being an a-hole. She thinks we should just take it out of anything we were planning to buy them. I disagree because I want them to see how hard it can be working. I'm thinking this will teach them to be careful with things they buy and things they don't own. I'm actually willing to change if someone thinks I'm a jerk in this scenario. However, as it stands, I think it's perfect for them to see that nobody truly likes to work, but we all have to do it to try to fix our mistakes. So am I the jerk in this scenario? Well, this is a really interesting one because in a certain way, I understand where the dad is coming from in this particular case, all right? I understand. Kid makes a mistake, there is a punishment for it, okay, move on. Where I think he goes a little bit too far, and I think he is wrong in this scenario, is he is saying, if you read the details, he's only paying for food, water, and school clothing, and he's gonna make them pay for soap, toothpaste, other toiletries, and things like that. They're 16 years old. I think when they're under 18 or they're finishing high school, whatever you want to say, I think those things you kind of pay for your children. They can, pay for other things. If they want to pay to save up for a car, if they're wanting to save for college, or if in this case they're trying to fix a TV, let them save up for that, but let them use their money to go towards those things. I think as the parent, it's your responsibility to take care of the basic necessities that your kids need to live at home. And I would think that soap and toothpaste would be included in that. Maybe I'm a little bit wrong. So I think the father had a good idea up to a point, but then he went a little bit too far. Maybe I'm wrong on this one. Maybe it's a hard lesson that the kids need to learn. Who knows? I wouldn't do it personally. I would maybe make them get a job or at least do some extra work around the house. Do something because it sounds like it was a pretty expensive TV that warranted them getting a job to be able to pay it back. So I get where he's going. And if you didn't want to do that, right? If you didn't want to have your kids work to pay it off, that's fine too. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think whether you have them get a job or you don't is really not the issue. The issue is making them use that money to go towards the basic necessities. Let me know what you think about this story in the comments. I mean, I'm sure that we've all been in some sort of situation like this where we've broken something or messed something up, or at least know somebody that has. And what were the steps that were taken to kind of fix that or remedy that situation? Curious to hear what you have to say because I'm sure it impacts a lot of us. Let me know if this has happened to you and how you would handle it in the comments. And as always, I like to end the show on a really good food deal. But first, before we get to the free food thing, I have to ask all of you about this situation that just blew my mind, and we'll get to the free food, trust me. But just last week, Smoothie King announced a partnership with Heinz Ketchup. All right, can you get where I'm going with that? Smoothies, Heinz Ketchup. Smoothies, Heinz Ketchup. Yes, Smoothie King in conjunction with Heinz Ketchup is launching a ketchup smoothie. I had to share it with all of you because I looked at this. I don't know what to think about it. So starting on August 6th, it was at select locations like in Atlanta, Chicago, Denver, Miami, New York, New Jersey. It's $5.70 for this ketchup smoothie. I just had to get that out of my brain. Let me know what you think about the ketchup smoothie. Is this something that you would actually try? All right, that's it. Wanted to get that off my chest. Now let's get to the free food, all right? Whataburger has free breakfast through the rest of August, and it's pretty easy to get it. So every Friday in August from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m., Whataburger offers a free breakfast without any purchase. You can choose from honey butter chicken biscuits, breakfast on a bun, and a taquito. It's important to note that this is not in all Whataburger locations, so make sure you check your Whataburger locations to see if they participate in this particular promo, okay? Because it does seem to be limited, but if you can snag it, that free food in the month of August is definitely a good thing. But I'm more interested in the ketchup smoothie. I can't get past that, it's blowing my mind. Let me know what you think about either one of these deals in the comments. Well, this has been a very fun show. Seriously, we talked about a lot of big stuff today. We talked about the status match with Hyatt and American Airlines. We talked about the expiring offer on the Sapphire Reserve, the top airlines, which that ranking still kind of freaked me out a little bit. Traveling without an ID in the future, it may not be that far away. And I've got to know what you think about two things, actually. One, the ketchup smoothie. I do need to know what you think about that. But I do want to hear your feedback on the story of the dad that's making his kids go to work and pay for not only the TV that they broke, but also the soap and the toothpaste, stuff like that. A lot of stuff to talk about. Keep in mind, if you're interested in any cards in today's video, especially that Sapphire Reserve card, let me know down in the comments. I'll shoot you over a referral link. And if you can apply through that referral link, it does help support the channel. I can't thank you all enough for doing that so far. If you found this video helpful or mildly entertaining, don't forget to be awesome. Give me a big thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notifications for alerts. When you click on the Brandon Boyd Show, click, click, click. You are going to get the latest information on credit cards, points and miles, travel, money, finance, free breakfast, and ketchup smoothies, and everything in between. And I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. We'll see you soon.